Hello everyone, and it is time for another Iron Warrior cosplay Q&A. I hope you are all good. The power shovel has been activated by the wonderful Casual Props. Once again, this is going to be absolutely wonderful. My guest tonight, I've actually got quite a special guest tonight, believe it or not. From the wonderful world of Overwatch, the fantastic Torbjorn is here, for everyone who wants to say hi. Torbjorn! How the devil are you, sir?
Ready to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the fantastic Tom from Atom Cosplay. And one of his fantastic cosplays is the wonderful Torbjorn from Overwatch. And man alive, is it an awesome cosplay. It is fantastic. You can get comfy now if you like. You can pop Torbjorn off if you like now and get yourself nice and comfy. I hope you guys are excited for tonight's stream because I am. This is an absolutely wonderful human being. I have known Tom for a little bit now, and we are, well, I'd say we're pretty close friends now. I've known you since the first Sci-Fi Weekender, but I've known you since before
Yeah.
then, I think. I think I saw you at a few cons, but I didn't know you at, like, the very first con and stuff, and I was just kind of like...
No, we just kind of got thrown together, but...
We just kind of got thrown together. It was kind of like, hi, shake hands, like, hi. And I try not to bother people with my loudness, but, you know. And also, underneath Torbjorn's epic beard is yet another epic beard. It's like underneath his beard is another beard. And as you can see, the beards are here. Now, also, before we completely get into it, Evil Ted has sent me a shirt. Look, I've got Evil Ted's shirt. I've got Evil Ted's stickers. I've got Evil Ted badge. I'm literally a walking advertisement for Evil Ted. I did message him on Instagram earlier being like, hey, if you get this, jump on my stream because I'm literally a walking advertisement for Evil Ted. And also we have beard appreciation in the chat. Let's get some beard appreciation in chat. Now, as you all know, my mod tonight is Harry. I'm not sure if Desi is in the chat or whether she's taking a break tonight, but my mod tonight is Harry. And if you guys have any questions, you can throw them in the chat and I can ask the wonderful Tom. So, Tom, how are you, my friend? Are you good?
I am good.
How have you been coping with this lockdown epidemic?
Yeah, I mean, I've been working through it. It's just something that you've got to deal with, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it got pretty dire at one point where I was just building props for the hell of it, and I was just like, this is getting insane now. But obviously, you yourself have been building some props as well. You're working on your helmet currently. Do you want to talk about that?
Gimli helmet.
This is an awesome helmet. It looks so good. Oh, look at that. It's so pretty. And that's all hand cut.
Yep.
That is insane. Oh, yes, go on. Look at that. I love that. I love that.
There's just so much detail on it. That's the problem.
Yeah, the detail on it's amazing.
I mean, even just on the side bits, there's detail actually on the side of the bits that you don't even realise that they're there.
Now, here's one of the questions I actually have for you, but I'm not going to do them in any order. I usually do them in a bit of an order, but is accuracy something you really strive for, or is accuracy something you just don't really mind?
A bit of both. I like being as accurate as possible, but if it doesn't fit a cosplay, then I'll shape it to how it needs to be to make me look more like the character.
No, I can completely understand it. Because obviously, when you see you walking around as Torbjorn, you know you're Torbjorn. Everyone knows you're Torbjorn. That is just, there's no two ways about it. And I'm sure, obviously, when you do your Gimli, you're going to look you're going to look identical to him.
I hope so.
Because, I mean, with your beard already, like you said you fashioned from a ZZ Top beard.
Yeah.
It looks so good. Is there anything inside that to keep it like it is, or have you just styled it like as such?
Inside it is just two balls of paper and then foam across the side.
See, that's so...
That bunches it out a bit.
It looks really good. It works so well. And I've seen so many pictures of you as Torbjorn.
It's just as low cost as possible and as budget as I could at the time.
Man. We have some other cool stuff to talk about your Torbjorn cosplay in a bit, but I'm not going to spoil it yet. But I'm just checking the chat now. You're not being ignored, Desi. You can relax tonight. Harry's taking the reins for tonight, and then obviously when you're free, you can pop on back anytime you want. I don't mind, but everyone's welcome. As you can see at the bottom here, I'm going to do the thing. I'm looking at my my OBS as well. It's like here. There you go. I have a goal thing now. You can see the goal. So yeah, I have a follower goal now, and I'm going to call it my Iron Warriors goal. More Iron Warriors. I need them for my army. So, cosplay.
Yes.
How long have you been doing it?
Since August 2015.
You know it to the month.
Yes.
So August 2015. So you've just had an anniversary then, because obviously it's now you. So that's
5
crazy.
years of doing it.
That's crazy. But obviously I've seen you at God knows how many events. I've seen you at a bunch of events now, and you guys are super cool. I mean, there's a few of you, isn't there?
Well, I'm part of Costume and Play. We do our own events, but there's like me and Kate that go around doing just random events that we want to go to as well. So.
Like the legendary Sci-Fi Weekender, which we talk about on this stream all the time, because Sci-Fi Weekender's the best. If anyone wants to go to Sci-Fi Weekender, please do. I'm not getting paid to say this or anything, but I genuinely hope people go to Sci-Fi Weekender because I love Sci-Fi Weekender. It's so much fun.
It's the best.
Also, Power Shovel has been activated. As you can see, the LEDs are in. Harry didn't remind me to get the batteries, but I remembered. But honestly, 5 years of cosplay, you've done so much awesome stuff. I mean, your first ever cosplay, you've actually got the helmet for.
I do.
Everyone's going to freak out. Everyone's going to freak out over this. I love this. Look at it. It's a Blastoise. It's the coolest thing. I love it. He looks so cool. Look at that. It's fantastic. And just so you guys know, yes indeed has the whole cosplay, has the whole thing. Fair play, after like Tom has come from his place with all of his stuff to his mum's house just to get good internet so that we could do this stream. That's how dedicated he was to this cosplay Q&A, and I absolutely.
I wasn't going to let you down.
I love you for it, man. This is why I love you, man. It's so cool. Another wonderful human being in the world. Absolutely. Goes above and beyond. I absolutely fucking love it. So, you've been doing cosplay now, you said, for 5 years. So, why do you love cosplay? Why do you cosplay? What is the attraction for you, I guess?
I always built things for, Halloween, fancy dress parties. And people said, we love it. And then they'd bought things and they'd sort of and they were like, can you make me stuff to go with my costume? And I was like, yeah, I can do that. And then one day, my mate said, I'm going to this event and there's cosplay there. You can bring something along. And I was like, well, I made a Blastoise for a fancy dress party. I might come with that. And when we went, they just said, we've got a competition. Would you like to go on stage?
Yes.
And I was like, hell yes. So I got up on stage. They played the Pokemon music. I moonwalked the whole 30-meter stage.
Oh, you absolute legend.
Fell in love with it. And I was like, yeah, I want to do this. And the company that was running the competition said, come work for us. So I was like, yeah, I want to do that.
Oh,
and that's I kind of fell backwards into it.
A cosplay love story. I absolutely love that. That's fantastic. You moonwalked the entire stage as a Blastoise. That's
to the Pokemon costume.
You should tell them why you built the Blastoise in the first place. That's such a good story. That's such a good story.
So my friend was having a birthday party and he wanted it to be fancy dress. There was about 30 of us going, and the one rule he had was don't come as a Pokemon. So I got about 25 people to make Pokemon costumes just to sort of mess with him. And I built a full Blastoise shell, Hydro Pump, everything to go with it.
Man alive.
And went to a nightclub dressed in a Blastoise costume.
Oh, Can you imagine a Blastoise just on the dance floor, like just getting down and grooving with the Blastoise head on and everything? Oh god, you sound like such a good laugh. Like that's what I love about meeting like new people. When obviously when we met, it's different now. Now I meet people. I don't go as full on as I normally do, but I try to just get like talking to them and become friends, and I love that kind of stuff. Whereas before I'd slow down a bit because if I usually go up and I'm just like, hey, we're cosplayers too, da, 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 apparently it could be a bit overwhelming. So I'm kind of like, especially with a lot of cosplayers I know have like high anxiety, so I try not to scare them or like make their anxiety kick off. Like there's a loud Welsh bearded man yelling at me, like, yelling positive things but still yelling at me.
But that's why I loved it.
We saw Atom with DC Theo last year when I was in costume. That's from Pages Pooches.
Oh.
That is awesome.
Where were we?
Probably Sci-Fi Weekender, maybe.
I went to Sci-Fi Weekender with him, and he came to Insomnia with me as well. So maybe
could be Insomnia then. But I know you've been to. Actually, do you know? I could ask you that one. How many events have you been to? How many cosplay events have you been to?
Oh.
I know, right? Like if someone was to ask me now, before I'd be able to list you off the 10 events that I did in the past like 2 years, but.
I've done since 2015. I've been to every London MCM, which is 2 a year. I've been to every Birmingham MCM, which is another 2 a year. I did Insomnia, which was 3 a year, but cut down to 2 a year. Sci-Fi Weekender, and then I've done local ones like just like in Sheffield, Barnsley, and stuff like that. And people have invited me to local ones to just show off what I can do.
Pages Poocher says, I think it was MCM London.
MCM London. Oh, yeah. Dan did come down for one because he brought Reinhardt. We were on the stage talking.
Oh, you did a panel. Awesome.
We did a panel on the stage about cosplay and...
Oh, I love that. I love
that. What it meant to us.
Oh, we have one. I'm really bad at names. I'm going to say Ella. I met Tom at Sheffield Comic Con a few years back, and his turret broke. Laughing face.
That'll have been Yorkshire Comic Con in Sheffield Arena. I got someone to lift it onto the stage, and as they lifted it, it just all fell apart.
Oh, man. Also, you have an incredible memory for conventions. Like, damn.
Just random stuff happens to me, and I just know which one's which.
I'm really bad at remembering exactly which event. Like, I mean, like, obviously this year, that's a different story. Me and Harry did one, and that was a UK Comic and Gaming Expert, like, gaming festival, and it was just, that was it. Have you done any this year?
This year.
Have you done none?
I don't think I've done any. Everyone I went to go to, just shut.
I mean, yeah. Well, the thing is, we did this one, and it was right in the beginning where they were like, "Ooh, something's happening. There's something going down. We're not sure what. There's something going down. This could be happening. We're not sure." And we were given signs. Natalie was nice enough to give me a sign that says like, "Please don't touch the props," which I never have. I hate do not touch the props.
Yeah.
Because I like people coming up being like, hey, can I hold this or whatever. I obviously, I don't like people just grabbing stuff, but I like it when they ask, and I'm happy to lend them props and stuff. The only one I don't hand out is the Power Fist, because it's so delicate and full of different parts.
I just throw things at people and say, have a go, put it on.
Yeah, exactly, because you've got so much cool stuff. I think I wore your claw hand once.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I wore your claw hand once, and I love it. I love it. It's so lightweight as well. Wow, it's so lightweight.
It's just all foam. Yeah. There's nothing to it.
I mean, this is back when I was like making stuff out of wood and being like, "Why are you doing this to yourself? Why you're over-engineering stuff again? Stop it!" So I love it, and yeah, people are. What was that? That video when you're reading a story to your turret slays me every time from Casual Props.
That was a highlight intro where he's looking at a photo book of turret. Oh, like baby pictures, and then as he's looking at it, he goes, "Oh," and then pulls the turret in to look at it. That took about an hour to try and match those up. It was just
man alive. We have Atom's Cosplay's links in chat. Also, go check out his TikTok. Now, obviously, I feel that TikTok's becoming the new Vine. There's some funny stuff on there. I don't have a TikTok myself. I don't watch that kind of stuff because it gets a bit boring. It's the same old stuff. But there are some really funny people on there, and one of them is Tom, because there's one you did that absolutely wrecked me, and it was the the one where you're dancing and you do the thing with your one arm and then you have the claw arm and you perfectly knock down your visor and you get really annoyed and walk off on it. Oh, I was dying of laughter, and I messaged you. I think I messaged you being like, "This is the funniest thing." It was so funny. Nocturne's Forge, or Cosplay, yes, we had a discussion about your heavy bolter numerous times. Yeah, I know. It's all changing now. I've got lightweight everything now. I'm doing everything lightweight. TikTok is Chinese spyware. Don't use it. Oh, it's funny. It's funny.
The Chinese can spy on me. I don't care.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'd love the Chinese to spy on you. Be like, yes, Torbjorn is busy doing things.
It's okay. He's a goof. We can attack.
Also, Ranger Kid Cosplay, I had to hold Dovrig back at that con. I need to. What con was it? I need to know. What do you mean? Why did you have to hold me back? I have no idea. So, you've done cosplay for a fair amount of years now. You're saying, is cosplay something you see yourself doing in another 10 years?
It's something I love. So as long as it still, I don't know. One excites me making the stuff and wearing it and watching people's reaction to it is probably the bit that I like the most. So as long as it's relevant, I'll still be here.
I'm glad because I got and I was thinking, I was like talking to myself to Harry, being like, when we're really old, we should just do like a pensioners thing where I'm just in my Iron Warrior, just stood there with like an Iron Warrior sized Zimmer frame.
Just a Zimmer.
Huge, like a Space Marine scaled one, and just like walking along. Oh yeah, at the con where people couldn't touch anything. Yeah, it's because it's the first time I'd ever been to a con where it was suggested that we don't let people handle our props because of the transfer of this, that, and the other. Don't get me wrong, this was before it came in, this was before lockdown, this is before it actually full on arrived and there were legitimate cases. It was like, be careful, things are happening. So I went around, I hugged everyone, I was hugging everyone and like saying hi to everyone and just whatever. And I'm kind of glad I did, because if I hadn't have done that, I wanted to get one good last, goodbye to everyone, and then suddenly, over the next week or so, bam, lockdown came in, the UK lockdown, Wales lockdown, the rules came in, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that. I'm glad we got one in. I was telling like Harry the other night, I'm glad we got one in, and genuinely it's honestly like, I wish it would go away now so that we can go back to it, because October is like literally here, and Halloween will be here soon, and it's like, and Halloween's like one of my favorite times of the year, because and then you had me frothing at the mouth. Yeah, I know. Ranger Creek Cosplay was not happy that I was letting people. I was throwing props and like, hold this, have that, photos, yay, hugs. Like, it's like, stop it, Dovrig. It couldn't be. You could. It's fine. No one I hugged or no one I met has caught it, so it's fine. people I know who I didn't meet have caught it, which kind of sucks, but
Yeah.
So, out of all the cosplays you've built, I have a guess, but I'm not gonna answer it before you do. What is your favorite cosplay of yours?
Well, I suppose Blastoise was the first one that got me into it, so I've always got love for him.
I've gotta love Blastoise.
Yeah, but Tor was my main man. I mean, he's just so fun to be in and just interact with people with him.
Oh, he is like so cool. You got the flickering LEDs in the vents, which just blows my mind when I saw that. But obviously, I did tell everyone that there would be a little thing I wanted to show you, and I did want to ask the wonderful Tom if he would show it, and he said yes. So would you show us Torbjorn's backpack? This is wonderful. You guys ready for this? This is so cool. And then I'll get him to explain how it all works. And you guys are gonna have your minds blown. It's so cool. Look at it go. It actually rotates, and that is and it's so cool. And it just slowly runs around all the time, and it's absolutely fantastic. That is so cool. And obviously, when you first told me how it runs, I was like, could you explain that one more time? So would you explain to the nice people how Torbjorn's drum runs?
Yes. The wheel is connected to 2 garden sprinklers. So as the garden sprinklers go like that, the wheel's going round. Then it's attached to a shoelace, which is attached to another wheel, which is then attached to a motor out of a toy tractor, and then powered by a 9-volt battery.
Like, honestly, if that's not the most amazing, like, cosplay mashup of stuff ever, Casual Props is like, what? It's so good. It's the best. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. We have a question from Casual Props for you about your Blastoise cosplay. Are the water cannons functional?
I wanted to put water or confetti cannons in them, but when I went to a con, they said that wouldn't be con safe, so I had to build the water out of foam. Well, they're actually Pringle tubes coated in foam, and then sort of like an array that looks like water splashing over the top, so it looks like he's doing hydro pump.
Oh, that's so cool. That is actually really cool. Apparently Facebook's not working very well for some people. I know mine isn't. Mine literally before the stream turned to the new layout of Facebook, and it will no longer let me turn it back. So, yeah, because you could do the change it back for 48 hours thing, and I would do that every single time, and now, nope. I've done it enough times now, apparently, so I have to suffer. Which
you will have the update.
Sucks, but, you know, it's the way it is. I have to just get used to it, like, you know. It's like years ago when Bebo's layout changed, and I didn't like that, but I had to get used to it. Bebo. Do you remember Bebo? Just you wait now. We're going to have people in chat who are like, yeah, Bebo. And others are going to be like, what? What's a Bebo? Like,
what is this Bebo thing? What did you speak of?
What is this ancient technology that you speak of? So, do you prefer? And I know this is going to be like a mixed question, I think, because like with some people I know, with some people like my cosplay friends stuff, I know almost immediately, and others I'm like I'm not sure. But with yourself, I really don't know. But when it comes to the building side of things, when it comes to building props and costumes and that kind of stuff, do you prefer working solo or do you prefer working with others?
I mean, it's nice to have a bit of company sometimes.
Yeah, I find that.
I think the concentration kind of goes, and I don't build as much or as accurately. So
yeah,
probably just squirreled away on my own in a corner, just sort of like getting it done. It's probably my way of doing things.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, for example, like Ranger Kid Cosplay comes over and keeps me company before, obviously, the lockdown and everything, but it was nice to have him chilling out with me. But yeah, I feel productivity does take a little bit of a... Like, it goes from that, and it does take a little bit of a dive, because we end up talking memes.
Like, we should play these card games. It's like, oh yeah, we should. And then it's like, oh, we were meant to be crafting. Oh, we'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. We have a weekend. It's fine. And then the Sunday, and you're like hungover, and you're like, let's not craft today. I've got a hangover. Oh, man. I love that. So, what is your most expensive cosplay to date? Like, the latest creation?
Well, Torb's been around for 4.5 years now. And he's had a pretty lot of upgrades to him, so I'm guessing that's probably the most expensive one up to date.
Because you've got constantly fed money into him and stuff?
Yeah.
Is there an iteration of him that you like? Have you got like a photo of him like when you first like ever built him and took him out? Because I would love to see that at some point. It might be on your Instagram.
The picture that you used for the stream,
Yeah.
that is the first con I ever went to. So that is the first ever Torbjorn.
No way! Well, there we go. If you guys jump over to Iron Warrior Cosplay, like my Facebook, and check out the going live image, that's his first ever. That's awesome. And obviously, we haven't spoken about it. We spoke about it coming apart on stage when someone handed it to you. But you have a fantastic turret, don't you?
I do. I haven't got it with me. It's at home, but
the actual turret moves, doesn't it?
it's got a fan in it. So when it's hooked up to a battery, the top turns like the fan would and oscillates.
That's absolutely amazing.
Like the game.
Oh, see, this is. I mean, to have that happen where it just goes back and forward. I would go online. I would find like a motor, and I would like ask a friend if they could help me like program a thing to make it do. No. Buy a shitty old cheap desk fan. Just take it apart, put the thing. Why did they? I love it. I think it's fantastic. It's so cool to just see that side of things where, like, the thing is, I've done it myself. Like, I'll do something or I'll fix something, and then someone will go, "Oh wow, how'd you do that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's easy. I just did this," and their mind is blown. But when you told me about that, and I was like, "Oh, cool. So you just plug it in," and you were like, "No, it's powered off a battery," and I'm like. Like, is it a full-on desk fan, or is it one of the small desk ones, like the tiny ones?
I think it was. Is it a little 12-inch that you get that stands like that on your desk?
Oh, that's so cool.
And
you just took it apart and popped it on, took the fan off and everything, and Bob's your uncle. So, question, is the motor still spinning as if there was a fan there, but it's just going that way?
The motor, there's no fan blades, but it has to spin the front because it uses the same rail.
Same as the used drive shaft, yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Look at that. Oh, look at that mod teamwork. Absolutely fantastic. You guys are fantastic. Look, working as a team. I should call you guys Team Rocket. I can imagine Harry and Desi just jumping in the chat, being like, "Prepare for trouble," and Desi's like, "And make it double." Oh, man alive, I love it. Okay, so you've got, that Torbjorn, like, that's the one you've thrown the most money to. But what is your cheapest cosplay? What's the cheapest one you've ever done?
I made a Mick Foley cosplay.
No way! I've never seen that.
It's on my Instagram.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to go onto your Instagram after this and look up the Mick Foley one. No way.
I got a plastic baseball bat. I made some barbed wire. I already had the shirt because obviously I'm a wrestling fan. Mick Foley.
Yeah. You love wrestling, yeah.
I got a flannel shirt. It was just cheap. It was like £2 maybe from somewhere. Got some fake blood for the bat, and then I bought a £2 wig off, I think it was Wish.
Oh, no, Wish.
Yeah.
Wish is great. Oh, God, they have the weirdest stuff on there. But that is a fantastic cosplay. Obviously, you had the sock.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I drew on one of my own socks.
Oh, man, that is absolutely...
And I got some teeth blackner, so that it looked like my front teeth were knocked out.
Oh. Do you know what? Straight after this stream, we're going to still be on Zoom. I'm going to go onto Insta and find it, because I want to be like, this is the coolest thing. I had no idea. This is why I love doing these cute cosplay Q&As. I find out so much cool stuff about, like, I'm like, yeah, we're friends, and it's like, but you know nothing about my cosplay life. It's like, God damn it. I love it. I absolutely love it. So, if you had to pick one convention, you've done a metric ton of them. If you had to pick one event that you like to go to the most, like your favorite con, what would it be? If I could twist your arm.
See, I love MCM London because I see so many people there that I know, and it's just like a big party. But I've got to say Sci-Fi Weekender, just because.
It's mine. I love Sci-Fi Weekender. It's 4 days of just madness.
Nonsense.
4 days of madness. Do you know what? I've gone and done it now. The chat's exploding with to protect the world with people's within our chat bar. Oh no, they're doing a bunch of stuff. Desi Harry Dubbering, that's right. Oh no. What have I started, Tom? What have I started?
Gonna be there forever now. Every stream.
Every stream now, it's gonna. Harry and Desi are gonna jump into the chat to protect the world from devastation, to unite all people. Oh God, to denounce. Oh God, to unite all cosplays within our nation. Yes.
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 So much yes.
To announce right. Someone type out the whole thing in a cosplay-esque like stream type one, and I will get it put up, and we'll do it. It'll be fantastic. Okay, so, man, I love it. So, what's your favorite part of cosplay? Like, the cosplaying as a whole.
I love getting into character and being that character. That's pretty close to being the best thing, but I'd have to say people's reactions.
Oh yeah.
Just to the character.
Reactions are honestly, like as soon as we jumped on stream, you just jumped into Torbjorn straight away, and I love that. I absolutely love that. I haven't developed a character for the Iron Warrior. I just go mute. Obviously, when someone does come up, if you were to come up and be like, "Hey, Derek, how are you?" I wouldn't just stay mute. I would still talk to you, but it's nice to like when I sort of stomping up somebody or I'm in a character, like in character, if you will. I just go quiet, but it's hard for me to keep quiet. I'm such a talkative bugger, like, you know me. I'll talk to everyone.
It only came about because people were shouting randomly Torbjorn at me, so I just started finishing off the sentence.
Have you got all of his lines down now? Like, have you got a bunch of different lines now?
Yeah.
just ready to go. Just you've got them listed, like...
I was kind of in NCM... No, it was Insomnia. I was kind of in the back near the cosplay bit, the changing area.
Yeah.
This girl came in and she was like, oh, "It's Torbjorn." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's me." And then she was like, "Can you do the lines?" So I did one. And then she got a phone out and recorded every line that I could think of on a phone.
What?
To use as sound bites. And I was like, okay. And then I saw her after I got changed and she just walked straight past me. I was like, okay then. Didn't know who I was.
Honestly, because of the beard and everything, you just have no idea. Like, that's actually quite an interesting thing. Harry and I were chatting about it. He wears his Krieg, I wear my Iron Warrior. We walk around together. We get stopped all the time. We people move out of our way. Literally, they part like the Red Sea. We walk through. I've got the noises going, and it's great fun. Me and Harry go back to the table, get unkitted, set up the suit on the stand or whatever. We'll go hoodies on. I'll grab like a prop or something. We'll head out. And that's it. No one knows who we are. Everyone stays still. Like, unless they know us, obviously, but they just don't move.
Yeah.
We have to, like, weave our way through the crowds, that kind of thing, and, like, we just become normal again. And it's just like, nobody knows. It's like the perfect disguise. I love it. But because I'm wearing my balaclava and stuff, usually, people only see there. And the suit.
Well, that's it with mine. It's like that.
It's that. It's just, and you just can't tell. But I like when we went to one event where I didn't have my balaclava on. We had just a helmet on, and it was sweltering hot. We walk over, and we had there was like 3 girls and a guy chatting to us, and Harry was there. And I was like, "Hey, Harry, can you take my helmet off?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure, no worries." Took my helmet off, and the woman went, "Oh, good God!" And I was like, "What? That's not like what?" And she was like, "No, not like that." She said, "I just didn't expect you to have a beard." And I was like, "Okay, okay." I think it's what is it? I think is it pagonophobia?
A beard?
Yeah, irrational fear of beards. Margaret Thatcher had it. Or distrust of beards, pagonophobia, something like that.
Who hates beards? I mean,
so someone look up what the fear of beards is called. I think it's pagonophobia, and I think Margaret Thatcher had it. She didn't have anyone on her cabinet with a beard. There was a thing I was watching a random documentary thing, and it was like she didn't trust anyone with beards. She didn't like beards. She just had a thing about beards. She just hated it. It is pagonophobia. Hell yeah! Look at that. Useless information. 329. The fear of beards. You got to know this as a bearded man.
I did some work for Xbox, and they made me shave it off.
Oh man, what the hell, Xbox?
None of their employees are allowed beards. They can have stubble, but no beards. I had to sign a 30-day contract to be employed by them.
Why?
I was doing some promotion cosplay work for them.
Oh, no, not why
you mean the beard thing?
But, like, why do they not allow beards?
I have no idea.
Like, that's such a weird thing. Like,
yeah.
I don't...
I was doing Gears of War before I was promoting the game,
Oh man, that's so cool.
and he does have like a short beard, and I went,
Yeah.
I need to keep it for the character, and they went, no, you can't. It says in the contract. I was like, okay.
Well, there's something I'm going to Google and do some research on the ends. Like, why are Microsoft anti-beard? I mean, I guess if it's a religious thing, they probably wouldn't.
Maybe.
They probably wouldn't care. If you like had to grow it like as part of a religion, I guess they would be like, that's fine. But if it isn't and you're just growing a beard, they could be like, shave it off or have stubble. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I used to work at Domino's Pizza, and they used to hate that I had a really big bushy beard, and I used to have to wear a beard snood, which was the thing, and it would hold it up, and then I would take it off in my car and drive to the delivery, and I do the delivery, get back in the car, drive back, have to put it on, because as soon as I'd entered the building, I had to have it on. It was crazy. It was crazy. But I wasn't going to shave it off.
Rules.
Not for Domino's. Like, they can go to hell. I don't even like pizza. Oh, I've gone and said it now. The whole chat's going to... I don't like pizza. It's just something I don't like. But the chat's going to go nuts at me again. It happens all the time.
All pizza or just certain flavors of pizza?
All pizza. I just don't like pizza. Something about pizza I just dislike. Like,
what about calzones?
I've never had a calzone. That's a pizza wrap thing, isn't it?
It's just a folded pizza, but
yeah.
it's
Have you watched Parks and Recreation?
No, I don't think so.
Parks and Recreation. There's a funny episode where the guy's obsessed with calzones, and he's explaining a calzone as if it's something completely different. And some guy comes up and goes, "Oh yeah, it's a folded pizza." And he's like, "It's not a folded pizza. I'm like, it's a folded pizza." Oh yeah, here we go. Art of Blackfire. We can't be friends. Hey, Snowdrop Hat knows it. All pizza is rank. Thank you. We can't be friends. We can't be friends. Wow, okay, thanks. Bye, everyone. Just watch my viewer count drop because I don't like pizza.
I'm questioning being here right now.
Oh, I tell you. So, this is a two-parter. It's like a yin-yang question. There's a good side and a bad side. So,
okay.
the first one is, what is your favorite part of cosplay?
That I've done, or just
as like a, if like some people say it's the people, some people say it's the cosplay itself, some people say it's the competition, some people say it's the, it could be pretty much anything, but like to you personally.
Again, it's probably the people's reaction, but I like dressing up and being the character. I like not being me for a bit, if that's not a weird answer.
No, that's not. I've had that answer before where someone said, I even explained to a friend of mine who said it. He's a Deadpool. As soon as he's not in Deadpool, he's like quite shy and quite quiet. As soon as he's in Deadpool, he's running around like a blue-ass fly, going nuts and doing crazy stuff and like just having a massive ball. But because he's wearing a mask, he feels better. He feels safer, if anything. Yeah. But I know some people who say they prefer to get into character than they are not in character. Because I've met people who are in character and they won't come out of character. They refuse to come out of character. It kind of, I like it. It's dedication, but it does kind of bug me a little bit when there's like 3 or 4 people about, and I'm like, can we just have I haven't seen you in a while. Can I talk to you? Like, it's kind of like, please, can I just talk to? One of my friends is a furry, and the rules are, well, she's told me the rules. I don't know. You can't take your head off in public, or it's frowned upon to take your head off in public.
I have this.
Her character doesn't talk, so she just does like paw movements and like cutesy stuff and all that stuff and whatever. So when I was trying to talk to them, they were just tilting their head and stuff, and I'm like, "You're not going to speak, are you?" And she was just like, "No." And I was like, "Ugh." I was like, "Okay, when you're out of cosplay, when you're out of your fursuit, come see me and then we can chat." Because it was just like, I can't talk to you. We had pictures and stuff, but it was just like, I can't have a conversation with you. Like, meh.
Yeah, so taking the head thing off. I went as Baymax to a con in Sheffield outside in the middle of July.
Did you dress as in Dan's one, or was it your one?
No, I have one.
Because I was going to say, because you have one, and I wasn't sure whether you and...
I have one without armor. Mine's just a full white.
Oh, the white one. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it's made of like insulation foam with like fabric over the top.
So cool.
But yeah, I was at a con outside in July, and I think it was about 26 degrees. I was stood out in the middle, and I had like a spiral of kids waiting for pictures. I'd been in it 2 hours. I was like sweating, dehydrating, and I went to go off to the side to take it off, and someone stopped me from taking the costume off because it's one piece. It comes all the way off.
Right.
They said you can't take that off here because you'll ruin the kids' illusion of the character, and we don't want to get sued by Disney. So you either go in the first aid tent and take it off, which was like 2 miles away.
Good God.
Or you're not allowed to take it off.
Who was that? Was that one of the organizers?
Apparently, it was someone from Disney who was a rep for them in that actual setting because he had some Disney characters there.
So it was like, hey, please have heat stroke because I don't care. I work for a massive corporation. Please have heat stroke. Like, have heat stroke. I don't care. Have like, that's horrible. Yeah. I
just turned up in the costume. I was just.
Yeah, you weren't working for them. You could literally done whatever you want. Like, it'd be different if you were contracted by them and you were working for them. Whole different story. But you know, I love this though. Pages Pooches. So if you get heat stroke as a furry, you must die as a furry.
Totally, that's part of the dedication.
Probably. Yeah. Ranger of Krieg. Ooh, thud. Yeah, apparently Disney is super strict on things like that. So
yeah.
Well, we have a question from Casual Props. Oh, important question. It's not an important question. It says, okay. What pizzas have you tried, and what has led what has led you down this dark path? I've tried pizzas from. I've tried a Domino's pizza, which was a cheese and tomato, just a plain cheese and tomato. I wasn't keen on it. The cheese was really vinegary, and it left a horrible taste in my mouth. The dough was just meh. And then when I say Domino's pizza, people are saying, "Oh, Domino's pizza's not really pizza. It's horrible. You should try this pizza." So I went to your bog standard like kebab house and was like, "Hey, can I have a small 9-inch pizza? Just give me cheese tomato." And I had a bit of ham on it as well. No pineapple. I don't like pineapple. I had a bit of ham on it. I'm not starting that debate. I'm just saying it was ham with cheese and tomato and thing. And I tried it, and it was horrible. It was too doughy, and it was bland. Again, the cheese didn't taste very nice. I just didn't like it. So it's the way it is. I just wasn't keen on it. Like I didn't want flamboyant potato on my pizza. But yes, you've just never had the right pizza. Yeah, but other people have said go to Pizza Hut, and then when you tell other people I'm going to go to Pizza Hut, they don't go to Pizza Hut. Go to Papa John's, and it's just a never-ending cycle of pizza buffoonery, and I just don't like it. Not my thing. I'm gonna stick to my fried chicken, KGB. Me and Ranger of Krieg Cosplay go to KGB a lot, and we call it the KGB. So I've asked you what your favourite part of cosplay is, and I'm not sure whether I asked you that question twice. I do apologise if I have, because normally I tick them off, but this is my new list. What is your least favourite part of cosplay? I always ask the double side, like the two sides of the coin, because it's healthy, if anything, to know the good and bad sides.
Yeah, I'd probably say it's not happened to me, but I've seen it happen to other people. And it's just the online sort of troll hate inside of it that people seem to get in comments about stuff that they've spent ages building and put so much effort into, and then it just gets shot down just by random people that probably haven't made anything before or probably haven't even tried to do cosplay, and it gets them to the point where they don't want to do it anymore. And I've talked to so many people that have just been like, I want to get out of this, and I'm just like, don't let one comment or one person bring you down that much that you give up something you love.
Honestly, that you couldn't have spoken more truer words. I'm going to probably guess that probably everyone in the comment section, in the chat even, have experienced this in some form or another. I know I had. It wasn't on like the main ones. It wasn't Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. It wasn't like one of the main platforms. It was a really weird Russian. It was Russian. The reason being is I had to translate the page from Russian to English.
Yeah.
It was on this like weird Russian forum. And one of the sections is cosplays, and there's like a bunch of different like things. One of them was cosplays, and the way I found it was, I was like, hold on, I'm gonna Google image Iron Warrior cosplay and see what comes up, and it's just a massive treasure trove of me, and it's like, good God. Bye, Artemis Blackfire. Hope you have fun. Catch you soon. We saw a bunch of pictures and everything, and I was telling Harry about it, and I clicked on one of them and it took me to this Russian forum, and I translated it. Wow, there was like one nice comment out of like 60. just horrible, like genuinely horrible comments. I was just like, wow, okay, no probs, that's a-okay with me, I don't mind. But every time I see like a bunch more followers on Instagram or people on Facebook, for example, just commenting awesome, really positive stuff, or they come onto my streams, that kind of stuff, it makes me just go, like, it's a Russian forum. Who cares? Like, that's I don't cater to people in Russia. I don't cater to anyone. I just do what I do. But my main like base, it would be the UK. It would be England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and that's literally that's where I do. But Pages Pooches, I got called a midget because I was not tall as Maeve Shadow Song. Maeve Shadow Song. You were called a midget. What? Why?
I got the opposite of that when I was at MCM. Someone walked up to me and said, "You know, you're not short enough for that character."
Wait, for Torbjorn?
Yeah.
Good God,
he's meant
really?
to be 4'7", and I'm 5'9", so they were like, "You're not short enough." And I was like, "Well, I could chop myself off at the knees, but I don't think, other than that, I can do anything to solve that problem."
Kidding.
They just walked off.
I don't think... I've never had someone literally walk up to me and say stuff like that. That's madness.
I've never had any online hate. That was the only comment I've ever had that someone just walked up to me and said it.
Well, I'm glad you've never had any online hate, because I hate when people, like... Especially when you said, like, it makes people not want to do it. And I don't want that. I never want that. I want people to want to... Like, I want people to want to do cosplay. And like, I've seen people start off. And yeah... Like, obviously, I'm not going to name anyone, but, like, they'll be like, hey, here's my first prop, what do you guys think? And I'm always positive about it, even if, like, even if it's not great. I mean, good God, my bolter, the first one I ever built, the one with a slat of wood inside it and the wooden handle, and it's all covered in foam, and then the whole thing's, like, a big empty box. When I built that, when you compare that to what I can build now, that thing's a pile of crap. Like,
yeah.
But the thing is...
You progress.
Yeah, but the thing is, I've shown that to someone. Like, I was taking stuff out of the boxes. I put that on the table, and he grabbed it. He was like, "This is so cool! Look at the size of it." He loved it. And he was holding it, and I was just like, "Okay, well, as long as you think it's cool, like, I'm cool with that. Like, if that's what you think is cool." Then I was taking out like other weapons, like a bolt pistol, and then I grabbed the bolt pistol that I built and put that on the table because it was a grey one. I was like, "This is what it looks like unpainted," and then I grabbed other props, and then obviously Harry's power shovel. People love the power shovel. The power shovel's like, that's why I've got the power shovel. You can only have it once per session, but it stays there for the whole thing. And then obviously I can't wait to show people my chainsword and my power hammer and stuff, like in the next year when the
I love your saxophone.
People love the saxophone. That was made out of all the scrap foam I had. I was like, scrap foam, put it together, and it's a Space Marine arm. The pattern is a Space Marine arm, and then I just flipped it and then glued it together. Because I held my Space Marine arm, and I was like, if that had a bit there, that would look like a saxophone. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks, and I did it. So I took the patterns out, recut the patterns, built a Space Marine arm, but didn't join it together without an elbow. I just glued it together, and now I've got a saxophone, and it's the best.
It's amazing.
It is fantastic. Nocturne's Forge. They soon sodded off when I raised my Thunderhammer. Yeah, Nocturne's Forge has a rubber latex Thunderhammer that he could beat the. Well, he hit my boarding shield. I had my boarding shield there, and he smacked it with his hammer. There's a video of it online.
I think I've seen it in Insomnia. I think he hit the stage with it.
Oh, it's so cool. He could properly hit stuff with it. It's like bang, and it's such a cool prop.
If it's the same hammer, yeah, I think he hit the stage with it when he was on stage.
See, Nocturne's Forge, I love it. I love that. I'm looking forward to finishing my motorized chainsword kit. Yes, you are. Awesome. It is an awesome kit. So, obviously, we've done, your favorite part, your least favorite part. I'm glad you're happy to talk about that, because, I don't like just flipping that question on people, but I've told people they don't have to answer any question they don't want to, and that is absolutely fine. So, this question, again, is kind of like mainly what you think of yourself. Like, how do you view you as a cosplayer? Like, how do you view yourself as a cosplayer?
I suppose you're always your biggest critic about stuff.
I know you mean.
When I look at stuff, I'm like, is that good enough? And then, could I make that better? Could I improve that in any way? And then, someone told me something that kind of always stuck with me, and it was the 5 foot rule. If a camera can't see it, don't worry about it. And I was like, I suppose that's true, because who else is going to come up to it and go, that edge is not straight?
Yeah, we've had that actually mentioned a bunch of times in this stream now. Like some people call it the 2 meter rule. I call it the 6 foot rule. Some people call it the 5 foot rule. It's all different, but it is true though. You look at it from there, and it's like that is so cool. As soon as you go right up to it, it's gonna. But the thing is though, you could take a high definition, fantastic photo with like the best SLR camera in the world. You zoom in on that picture, it's going to go pixelated. Like if you properly zoom in, it's going to go pixelated. So everything looks better from a distance if you think about it. Like it's awesome. It's awesome. 5 foot rule for the win, 6 foot rule. Yeah, exactly. Everyone has their different variants on it, and that is absolutely fine. That is absolutely fine. I was told not to do it again as they'd worried I damaged the stage with the hammer. What an absolute hero. With the power hammer I made recently, the beginning of lockdown, I crushed tins of Coke with it, empty ones, but I crushed.
Oh, I saw you doing that.
Yeah, I wanted to show people that it could take some. It could like even though it's hollow and everything, it could still take a beating, and I'm really really proud of that fact. So, when obviously you said you did a Blastoise for the Halloween party and everything, and you did the moonwalk across the stage and everything.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you sort of idolize, or anyone you look up to when it comes to cosplay? Like anyone you think like this person I hold in a high standing to the point where I'm gonna try and strive to be as good as them?
See, there's like really good cosplayers out there, and I always think their stuff is miles better than mine. And there's some really good people that don't get the recognition that they should do. Like they build amazing stuff, and I don't know, they just don't seem to. People just don't seem to see it, or they just don't seem to. I don't know, gravitate towards it. But I'd say the people that I kind of looked up to were the people that got me into the actual cosplaying side, because without them, I'd never have gone into it, and I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I'd just be building stuff for Halloween and fancy dress parties when they came around still.
But the thing is, though, I'm glad that when you built stuff, people then suddenly were like, wow, he's really good at this. Let's ask him to build me this for this costume. And then you started doing that. Do you do commissions? Do you do commissions? Or is it more for
commission
friends?
stuff. I commission stuff, and me and my sister, we build sets as well.
See, that is fantastic. Because obviously you guys travel around in your awesome van to events, and you do. God, you guys do so much cool stuff. Like your tables are fantastic. I'm not sure if I remember right. I want to make sure I'm right in this. I could be wrong. It's not a problem if I am. But did you guys run a cosplay repair table?
We did at one point. Yes.
Yeah. No, it was like I remember one point you did. I swear, like there was one point you did.
Yeah, we were mending stuff for people when it all broke. We were putting it back together and fixing it.
I like that. See, that's one thing I've wanted to do for some time, and I saw this was just as I was finishing off the Iron Warrior, like the first iteration of him anyway. There were these cosplayers going around as cosplay medics. They were calling themselves. They'd have backpacks and like battery powered glue guns and contact cement and adhesive and all that good stuff. And I was watching and I thought that was really cool, and I'd really love to do that. I would really love to do that. But the whole time I'm looking at these like people doing it, all of them were American. They were in American the big American conventions. And I tried to find some UK videos of people at conventions fixing stuff, but it was always at a table. It was always like, hey, we're at this event, we're the official repair table and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, is it because you can't really take in a pot of contact cement and needles and a battery-powered hot glue gun and super glue and that kind of stuff to a convention in the UK? I've never looked into it.
There was a guy at MCM, London. He was the first guy I ever saw do it. He was walking around repairing people's stuff, just him and a backpack and some stuff he'd got. And that was MW Cosplay. and that really helped because I think Dan was there at the time as well, and his Reinhardt broke, and he was fixing him as he was stood on it. And
That's so cool. See, that's what I'd love to do. I'd love to do a cosplay repairman at one point. Just go to a con and just help people repair stuff. I would absolutely love to do that. The only thing is, I would definitely contact the event and be like, hey, just so you know, I'm bringing, scissors and, a small craft knife kind of thing, like a small one of these or something, or one of these. Or
my turret, I put in actually like a wheelie box, and I took it to MCM, and they said, "What's in the box?" And I said, "It's just a prop to go with my actual costume." And they were like, "Oh, can you lift the lid?" I went like that. They had a look at it. They went, "That's fine." I put it back on, and then when I got it in the con, realized I had my whole toolkit, knives, everything underneath the turret still that I'd gone to a convention with, and I was like, now we have to sneak these back out.
Oh, do you know what's really funny? Sneaking stuff, like going out, they don't care. Out is fine. Like, I've never had an issue out, but I've had so many problems in. It's always a difficult thing. Like, in terms of how many times you've been stopped going in?
I don't know, because they always check the hammer because they think it's metal.
Look at that hammer! It's so cool. Is that all just made out of foam, or has it got something groovy in it?
No, it's got a PVC pipe just there, and then apart from that, it's all foam.
That's so good. God, the skill that you've put into that to make it look... It's exactly like the one from the game. Like, I love it.
It used to say Atom Cosplay down it as well, because when I posed for photos...
I would say Atom Cosplay.
It was always in the photo, but now it's just got the AC logo on it.
Well, AC's still cool. AC Atom Cosplay. I mean, that's still absolutely badass. Oh, I've got I wore a cosplay on my shoulder on a banner, and I've been told off about that.
Because you've done it, I was like, I want that too.
I've literally been told off. Like, people are like, oh, you shouldn't have that. That's so cheesy. And I'm like, it's come in handy a billion times. People are like, oh, cool. Hey, where can I find you? And I'm like, shoulder. And they're like, cool. And then Harry will give them some cards, and it's like the coolest thing. Honestly, this is fantastic. In terms of being stopped, I got stopped at a convention once. They checked the chainsword. They checked my gun. They were like, can that gun shoot? And I looked at them like, no, because it's like a comedy site. Like, it was a huge bolt pistol with the fake bullets hanging down. It's like... But then they checked the sword and it was squishy, and I was like, okay. And then, but they came over to the chain that I've got that is actually bolted, nut and bolted to my shoulder, which holds the cape and stuff. The chain comes out, and she held the cape. She went, "Ooh, that's a real chain." I'm like, yeah. And they were like, "You couldn't take that off, could you?" I'm like, "Well, no, it's bolted to me. Like, I'd have to go buy a toolkit. I don't have the ratchet set with me to." No. And she was like, oh, can it come off? And I'm like, no, it literally, like, if I wanted to, I would have to go home and get my tools to then take it off. If I wanted to use it to strangle somebody, I'd have to, hold on a second. Just 2 seconds. Like, I'd have to take it off, and it would just be, no. And she's like, oh, okay, like, keep it safe. And I'm like, it can't come off. It never comes off. It is permanently attached. The cape can't come off. The only time I took the cape off was the very last time I sorted the backpack out, and that was it. I cannot take the cape off anymore. It's absolutely...
Which your backpack's amazing.
I'm not going to lie, I like it. It's going to get upgraded because I'm going to make it removable, because I'm going to have another backpack. It's all the whole thing. Me and Noxen's Forge made the patterns for it. It's just, it's mint.
I love your backpack. It's amazing.
It's got the LEDs in the back of it. I love it. Thank you so much. I love that.
And the sound as well.
Oh, with the mega stomp on my ass. Yeah. I remember the first time you saw that and you were like, fuck Christ, that's amazing. I was like, yep, thank you. I was like, I absolutely love it. It's so,
I was just following you around, just doing the same with my boots as yours, just to get the sound.
I've had a few people say, like, can I walk with you? And they walk in time with me, and they're like, this is so cool. And I'm like, it is, isn't it? It makes you feel boss as hell. I just feel sorry for Harry, who has to like lift the cape and hide underneath my cape, and it's just the cape covering him, and he has to play with buttons and knobs on my bum. Like, just okay, that's fine. And then he comes out from underneath the cape. I was stood there once with Harry in my cape behind me, sorting out the volume because the cable I had wasn't working very well, and we fixed it now. But he was like sorting the cable out, and then the sounds came on. He was like, "Good," and she was like, "Can I have a photo?" And I'm like, "Yes." And Harry, fair play to him, moved his feet behind my legs. So there's a photo of me, and no one knows, but there's a Harry behind me fixing my Mega Stomp. It's the coolest. The stuff he's done for me, it beggars belief. So, I've done that. I think from you, this is going to be wonderful. What would your advice be to somebody who's starting off in the cosplay world?
Ooh.
Ignore COVID. Forget COVID for a second. Like, if someone's starting off, like,
it's not a thing.
It's not a thing. Not during these Q&As. Why not? We'll just.
I'd say pick something or a character that you love, because if you love it, you're going to want to put the effort and time into it and make it something that you're proud of.
I like that.
Next, if you want any clue on how to make something, there is a YouTube video on it, or there is a cosplayer who's done it before you, and they will have tips, tricks, anything, and you ask them, they'll love to just go into detail about how they made something and how you can do it better than the way that they built it.
Oh, absolutely. That is honest to God the truth, because, I mean, for example, Harry, I've been talking to him recently about doing my Krieg. He's happy to give me all the info. The amount of Space Marines that have messaged me asking for the files, and I've given them the files and the links to Pepakura and links to videos and this, that, and the other. They've then come back. One in particular, a Hot Rod Welder, who regularly comes to the stream. I'm not sure if he's here tonight. I'll have to check. He is building a Space Marine. He has been sending me almost weekly updates, and he is bombing his way through it. But he got to the shoulders, and he was like, I don't know how to do the shoulders. Luckily, I have a whole album on how I did them. And we had a Discord call where I explained the whole thing to him. He has copied it to the letter, and he could not be happier. He literally sent a video, he was like, I recorded you a video, and I was like, he hasn't posted it. He said, I recorded you a video, and I'm like, okay. And it's him going, like this, and the shoulders are rotating, and he's like, and look, I can pop them off, and he was really happy with the system and how it worked, and I was just like, I am so happy that I could have helped you, and that's what I want to do, is just help people if I can, especially at an event. Like, if I'm at an event and someone comes up to me, how did you do this? I'd love to be able to just take the suit apart on the stand and be like, this is how I did it.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely fucking wonderful. And seeing the stuff that you've done, like, I have pestered you a bunch of times at an event, being like, how did you do that bit? And you were like, it's this with one of these. And I'm like, good God, like, I wouldn't have thought, like we were saying just before the stream, like, I thought that motor was like a motor with the thing, and the thing, and you turned it on, and you could turn the speed, and it was nice and slow, and I thought they were like resistors and all that, and you were like, it's a 9-volt tractor toy motor with a wheel and a shoelace, and I was just like, I don't know why I overcomplicated it. It's so much easier like that. But my favorite one is every time I do see you, and I'm like, hey, how's Torbjorn? And I'm like, I don't know, let's see if he works this time. I'm like, okay. And you're like, wait for it, and then I love it. It's like almost it's a really cool cinematic almost, where the LEDs will flicker, and then suddenly they'll power on, and then the wheel will start turning slowly, and then it starts turning like that, and I'm like, he lives! Torbjorn lives! And it's just the coolest thing. Nocturne Sword says, yes, Throne, those templates were a bastard to modify. Yes, they were. Absolutely. Because he had the actual backpack that I wanted as a Space Marine model, like as the backpack that you glue to the little model to make a Space Marine.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do this. He has tried to teach me, and I've tried my best to learn, but I can't do it. We had to measure the model and then blow it up.
Right.
And then cut them out. But we had to do multiple different parts, because some layered parts go on top of the other, and this, that, and the other. So I have a stack of sheets of paper, all different shapes and sizes, and I have to remember now where they all go. And I have to cut them out, and I have to leave so much on this one, and add a bit to that one, and Dremel this one at this angle. And I cannot wait to put it together. I'm really, really excited for it. So let's have a look. Ooh, yes. Funniest cosplay story.
Oh.
And you, if you want, if it's not the stairs, can you mention the stairs after?
Yeah.
Because that shocked me to my core.
Well, but I can do this. I can do the stairs one, and then I've got one where I fell downstairs. I've got one where I've fallen upstairs onto a stage.
Okay.
That was fun. Right. So the one falling downstairs was MCM London, and there's a big flight of stairs, and then it levels off onto a plateau, and then goes another 3 steps. It had been raining, and I've got boots that are foam on the bottom. So it kind of went like that on the water. I couldn't see where I was going, so I thought I'd already cleared those 3 stairs because I had someone helping me down the stairs. They kind of went talking off to somebody, so I was like, oh, I'm on the flat bit. I'll just go and stand under the trees because it's starting to drizzle a bit. I went to step and went down the stairs and kind of fell sideways and landed on my face.
So, have you murdered said person yet, or?
Yes, probably.
Buried in the garden.
And the one where I tripped onto stage, it was a stage, and then they have those little sort of steel runway down the side.
Oh, yeah.
I'd thrown my hammer to somebody up on the stage so that they could catch it, so I could do the stairs, because I've only got one arm with the claw.
Yeah.
I'm going like that up the stairs. I thought I got to the top, my boot caught in the top step, and I tripped onto the stage and sort of slid.
Oh, man. Oh.
Casual
Prop said stairs should be illegal. Ranger of Free Cosplay, man, fuck stairs.
And then, I got heat stroke as well. That was fun.
Oh, God. Oh, Artemis Blackfire says you take the lift, lol. But you got heat stroke?
Yeah, I was working in MCM London. We had a stall, and I went outside to do the photo shoot, and it was that hot that my turret cannons started melting downwards.
What? No way.
Yeah.
What are they made from?
Pool noodles.
So they literally started to. Oh wow.
Drooping. And I didn't realise how warm it was. I did the photo shoot, which was about half an hour, because he said, "Oh, it's hot outside. Go get some liquids and stuff." I was like, "Okay." I stayed around for a little bit after that, talking to some people, getting some photos, and then it went blank for the next hour. They couldn't find me. I didn't know where I was. I'd wandered into the cosplay competition, and apparently was watching that. Someone came and found me and was like, "Come on this way. This is where we live."
So you were delirious.
I had no idea where I was or where I was meant to be.
That's insane. I don't know whether I haven't had heat stroke in my space stream, but what I have done, and Harry can be an attest to this. I didn't drink enough, and it was like, this is before Harry started forcing me to drink. Now,
Yeah.
I didn't drink enough. I told Harry it was fine. I was like, "Oh, okay, fine. If you're fine, like, and put the water bottle down." Now he's like, "No, he will shove the Lucozade bottle into my mouth and squeeze it, and like, no, force liquids into me." I think I dehydrated too much, because on the drive home I had such a headache across the front, and I was just and like drinking was making me feel sick, because drinking I was just feeling sick, but I was like kept drinking. I felt fine by the end of it, but honestly, it just got to the point where I just, like, from now on, like, I've told Harry, like, he has absolute permission to just yell at me if it gets to that point. But I do try to drink as much as I can now. I properly do. As soon as Harry's like, "Okay, time to drink," I'm like, "That's fine." Or I'll ask him for a drink, and I will drink. I don't care if there's people around. I'm like, "Give me a drink." Like, if I have to drink, I have to drink. There's no point in killing yourself. Like, Ranger of Free Cosplay, hail hydrate. Hail hydrate. I like that. Nocturne's Forge, I ended up with heat stroke while minioning for DC Theo Comic. Wow. He ended up with heat stroke while being the Harry for for Daniel. Well, I don't know if you've been on my stream that many times, but we have a thing on here now where Harry's my spotter, and I think he's the best spotter ever. And people have started saying, I need to get a Harry. I need to get myself a Harry. So now everyone's spotters are called Harrys. So it's my favorite. He needs to get himself a Harry. Ranger of Creed Cosplay. He takes the lift. I walk up the stairs most of the time and meet him up there. Yeah. It's either I'll get into the lift and Harry will join me and then press the button, and when the doors open, he walks out and scares the crap out of people, then I walk out and scare the crap out of people. Or if the lift is too small, he'll like get me in, he'll push a button, the doors will close, he'll go, see you up there, and then when he walks up, and by the time I'm at the top, the doors open, and it's just him stopping people from going into the lift. Because we've scared some people, the doors have opened, and we've had people go, ah, like, Jesus Christ, like or people who've like looked at, trying to someone, they'll walk into the lift, they'll turn and look at just look up. It's just Harry and me. Like, good God. Crap themselves. It's hilarious. So, do you have... I know I've said, like, do you have anyone you look up to or anything? In regards to, like, the cosplay community, like, who you look up to and that. Obviously, everyone knows mine is Adam Savage. I love Adam Savage. Evil Ted.
Hell yeah.
Obviously, those are like the more celebrity side of things. Obviously, I look up to cosplay friends as well, like Harry and Desi and Daniel and yourself. And I look up to so many people. David Roth, Dave Damon. I could, as I said, I could just list names for hours. It would just be a whole stream of me with glasses on my nose reading a list like in alphabetical order, and it would just be like a 12-hour stream of me reading people's names. But is there a cosplayer that you look up to? Who's your favorite cosplayer, basically, out of your friends? Like, people you know, not like a celebrity and stuff.
That's a tough question.
Isn't it? Just because
I'm gonna nail it down to one.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I know how hard this question is, and if you can't nail it down to one, you don't have to. You can start listing a few if you like, and then just say like, because honestly, there's no way I could pick one.
See, I love you, Space Marine guys. So
there's a lot of us now. There's a lot of us now.
Yeah, and Dan as well with his Reinhardt.
Oh yeah, and his Baymax and his
yeah. And the new one he's doing as well. That's got so much detail.
Oh, his Epion. Is it Epion? I think it's Epion he's working on from Gundam. Oh, he was on my stream and he showed people the helmet. Just the helmet. He had the chest behind him, but he showed people just the helmet. And the amount of detail on the helmet was blowing people's minds. And then he took the faceplate off.
Yep.
And that made people just go even more nuts. And that's just the helmet. Wait until he gets, like, his chest is done. Wait until he gets everything else done. Oh, I'm so, like, I look at my stuff. I look at my suit and my stuff. I look at Dan's stuff and I'm like, what a pile of crap. And I look at Dan's, I'm like, bowing to him.
See, Dan's a guy that needs more recognition as well. So
you have no idea. He's such a sweetheart, and like he needs to be pushed into the spotlight, not in an aggressive way. I know he doesn't. I know, like, it's taken him a while to start doing stage stuff because, before he was saying during my stream he had to wear a mask and stuff, and like he wasn't keen on that. He didn't like that kind of stuff. But it's more he needs that recognition, as you say. He needs to be shown, like he needs a Will Smith when he's Will Smith doing that to his wife.
Yep.
Like, this Dan, that's this is Dan. Like that needs to happen more, and I want to. Like, try to get him out there a bit more. Because the amount of, like, people... Like, obviously, I know followers and likes aren't everything, but the amount of followers and likes he does have is so little compared to the work that he does. Like, man alive, he needs that work, because he is an absolutely amazing cosplayer. And do you know what? If one of my mods, could you go to Instagram and get DC Theo Models, Daniel Theophani's link, and throw it up in chat as well, along with Atom Cosplay's links as well, so that we can get some appreciation for Dan. And I'll probably tag him, or if someone can go to Facebook and yell at Dan and tell him to jump on stream, so we can appreciate him. But yeah, it's a hard question, isn't it? Like, to pick like one person, and I start listing people off in no particular order, and I just start listing people off like crazy, and you can't pick one person. Obviously, when it comes to the celebrity side of things, like you have like Kamui Cosplay or Yaya Han, Evil Ted, Adam Savage. Punish Props. Those guys. Again, I'm just listing off people here, but some people have their favorite celebrity cosplayer,
Yeah.
like the ones who are known all around. But I always try to ask people like, who do you look up to, like in terms of like celebrity cosplayer, but then also who's your favorite cosplayer? And I love asking that question. Now, there is a question here which I think I'm just going to skip because usually it's do you prefer buying or making your cosplays? We all know for a fact that you prefer making them from the looks of your I know you've said that you've bought a few things, but the stuff you've made just outdoes everything you've bought. Like absolutely.
It's not a bad thing buying things.
Oh no, God no.
If you want to get into cosplay and you're not that crafty, buy it, steal it, borrow it. It doesn't matter. Just get into it the way that you can, and it's a great hobby.
Commission it.
Commission it, yeah. Commission it.
Commission it. Absolutely. Do you know what I'm going to have to do? Next time I see you in an event, I'm going to have to try get you in the Space Marine. Get you walking around the Space Marine.
I won't say no.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm glad. I'll have to get you in the Iron Warrior. See if I can get you. See if I can get you stomping around. I'll test you in the feet first. I'll give you the feet and shins, and you can walk around in them and see if you're comfortable.
Yeah.
And if you're comfortable walking around in them, then you can get the whole thing on you. So, out of all the cosplays you've done, your Blastoise, your Mick Foley, your Torbjorn, and everything, what is the most uncomfortable cosplay you own? See, do you know what's funny? Every time I ask my guests that, they always go, ha! And they always laugh because they immediately know. Oh, I love it.
The Torb really pulls on your back a lot. I'll have to say that because it wasn't designed for comfort; it was designed for function. So that kind of really gives you shoulder ache. But the Blastoise head, when I made it, I didn't know anything about it. This is
look at that. We get
this is expanding foam.
Oh my God! You carved expanding foam?
Yep. So there's a hard hat in the middle. I then covered it in expanding foam to be light. Carved it all, and then thought, I wonder how I can get it smooth. And somebody said, try polyfiller. I was like, oh, okay. So I started covering it, and 3 pots of polyfill later. So it's got like 6 kilograms of polyfiller on it, so it's like a bowling ball.
Man alive! I had no idea that. I had no idea that you carved that out of expanding foam.
I think there's pictures way back on my Instagram of it.
That's
me carving
madness.
it.
I had no. I know you had expanding foam in it, but I thought you would filled it with expanding foam to fill it in, like inside,
oh, no,
like not the outside.
That's all carved with a bread knife.
You carved it with the bread. You're an absolute legend. This is madness. Oh, I do recall one story you said, if I ever have to take Blastoise to a con, I have to repaint the head.
Every time, because it gets, can you see on the ear?
So what's that now? Is that the polyfiller coming off?
That's the polyfiller chipping off, and I have to fill it with more polyfiller, smooth it down, sand it, and then paint it again.
That's mad. But you're saying that helmet weighs about 6 kilo. Oh. It looks weighty on camera when you throw it. Now that you've mentioned it's 6 kilo, but I'm gonna have to pick that up next time I see you at a con. And
that's just a piece of neck curtain.
Neck curtain.
Neck curtain I painted. If you can.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then that's thermoplastic pellets that you mold with.
Oh yeah, the little you pour them in and you melt them and then you yeah. They're fantastic.
Yeah, they're just shaped and then.
That is wonderful. That is actually fantastic. Would you ever? Here's a question I haven't got, but would you ever look at a prop you've done, for example, your Blastoise helmet, and think, now that I've come along, I'm going to redo that? Is there any prop you have that you would look at and be like, I'm going to remake that?
I have thought about making the Blastoise head so many times, and then I put so much work into it that I was like, is it going to take that long again? And then I'm like, it should be quicker this time. And I never got around to doing it. Just put it off. And then I should really look into doing it again, I suppose. now that I know more stuff than I did,
But you
obviously,
should
when I
still
made
keep
it.
it. I still think you should keep it because
Oh yeah, I'll always keep it. It's
that
just
is
a
just.
reminder of how I started.
Here's a crazy one for you. I don't know if you saw this was a fair chunk ago. I replaced the knees on my Iron Warrior. He's now got different knees, different
Yeah,
shape, a different style, different mark knee, and I really like the way they've come out. But I took the two old knees off and just put them in the bin because I can't do anything with them. They were shredded on the back, so I had to cut them off and cut them through, and then
yeah,
recut the shin and everything. But I threw them away, and my dad took out the one with the banner on it that says Ferrum Bellator, which is Iron Warrior, and he took that out and he said,
yeah.
"I'm going to hang this on the wall," and I'm like, bruh." like I don't like getting rid of stuff. It's the reason I've kept my first bolter. I don't use it anymore, but I take it to cons to show people this is the first one I ever built.
Yeah, I'm
But
just a hoarder, so
I wasn't going to keep the knees. I wasn't going to keep the knees. Helmets. I am a sucker for keeping helmets. I keep helmets. I just keep everything if I can. I've even got up above me the Imperial Fist helmet that I crushed with my foot. That's a failed attempt at making a Space Marine helmet that I was just like, screw this, sprayed it yellow, really rough, put a stencil on it, like drew it out and was like, there you go, done, and then threw it away. And it was just, it was absolutely. I just can't get rid of it. It's too. I love it too much. It's as you said, it's a hoarder thing. I think.
yeah.
I
Look at
hoard
something
scrap
and
foam.
go, I can keep that and it'll be something, or I can use it in a project. Like just old trainers, I'm like I should really throw those away, but they could be a new pair of boots at some point.
They could go into something, and you could use them for exactly. It's madness. It's absolute madness. The only thing is I was when I was making different feet for the Space Marine, my the first pair of boots I put in him, I bought a new pair, and I was like, I'll use these old pair for the Space Marine. Put them in, but round where the heel is, the actual flat bit of the shoe, where you know the toe and the back of the boot and everything, the back of it at MCM ripped off completely. And when I came home, I grabbed the boot and just ripped the whole thing off, and the steel toe cap stayed on the end. The steel toe cap of the boot was there, and just the floor of the shoe was on the thing. So I had to unscrew it, and I had to get a blade and scrape it off because I'd glued it on and I'd scraped it off, and it took a while to get off, which made me really happy. As frustrating and annoying as it was, I was happy because I knew it was on there.
You've done a good job.
That was, and then I proceeded to rip all of the wood out. Ripped all the wood out and then redid it, and now I put a new pair of boots in and screwed them down the same way, and they were great. But when I saw Nocturne's Forge with his Wellington boots, his galoshes, I think is the American term, when he had his Wellington boot in his, and I was like, they're slip-ons, they're not boots,
Yeah.
they're wellies, they go high up. Why am I not wearing wellies? So I asked my dad for a pair of wellies if he had any, because he has a spare wellies, and he was like, ooh, only in my size. And he went through it, and he found a size 11 and a half, but I'm a size 12, but I wanted that half size down so that my foot is a bit tight in it.
Yeah.
I am a little bit worried that I might kill my toes by the end of a convention, but I haven't tested it properly yet. I've walked around the workshop, but walking around a workshop is not 8 hours at MCM.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, we'll see. Oh yeah, Quarion and hats. I love hats. I love hats. Hats are the best. Hats are fantastic. So, obviously, I asked you at the beginning how important is accuracy to you. I've asked you that. But do you prefer cosplaying as like a group of you? For example, let's say you're Torbjorn. Would you have a group of you, or do you prefer to cosplay solo? Not specifically as Torbjorn, but in general. A group cosplay or sort of solo?
I mean, I go to events probably as the only Overwatch character in my sort of group. But when I get there, there's meets.
Yeah.
So then there's like 30, 40 upwards people all in Overwatch cosplay, and we kind of get together and you meet people. I met some of my best friends just through cosplaying from Overwatch and going to meets.
I love that. How many Torbjorns have you met?
One other?
No way. Is Torbjorn that not niche, but is Torbjorn not as... I guess the most cosplayed one is probably Mercy or Reinhardt, maybe? I don't know enough about the Overwatch community to...
You get a lot of soldiers. Um, you get a lot of mercies and tracers. I've only ever met one Winston.
Oh yeah, Winston. Wow, that's an interesting one. Winston. That's a hot
It
cosplay if
was
you do the whole.
Gonk cosplay, and he he had it up in his hotel room and put it on, and then filled the entire lift to the point where we had to shove him in to get the doors shut.
That's madness. Is he huge? Is the cosplay huge? Like.
There's a photo on my Instagram actually of me stood next to him. It's just really big and chunky suit.
If one of my mods wants to jump on the amazing Atom Cosplay's Instagram and find that photo, if you guys are cool to do that, we'll hopefully see that link in chat if the mods decide to go grab it. But I mean, obviously, you're a bit of both. Then you like sort of by yourself, but you also like the meetups and like the group cosplays and stuff like that.
Yeah. Actually, with the Tourbillon question, we're actually in a Facebook group where everybody from around the world who cosplays Tourbillon is in the group. And there's only 12 of us.
There's 12 of you. That's
around the world.
Little. That's because I mean I say that about like Space Marines. Like there's a lot of Space Marines now, but the amount that there actually is it's a mad amount of how many Space Marines there are now. And there's 12 Tourbillons. Obviously, that's not like the official number, but there's still 12 of you in that group as Tourbillon, and that's insane. That is absolutely insane. That is madness. But here's a question for you that you yourself helped me make, I guess, while we were chatting the other night. Where did you get your cosplay name? Atom Cosplay.
It was the first event that I took the Tourbillon to, that you've got the photo from. And they took a video of me for the next event of me stood there and then hitting down with the hammer to finish the scene. And then they said they'd like to credit me in the video. And I was like, yeah, sure. They went, so what's your cosplay name? And I was like, I don't have one. They were like, well, who built it? And they went, well, I built it. And they went, who are you? And I went, Tom. So they went, so it's Atom Cosplay. And I was like,
a Tom Cosplay. Atom Cosplay.
Cool. I'll have that. Atom Cosplay.
That is, that is such a cool, just like that for that to just happen. For that to just happen. I love that. That's absolutely fantastic. Yep. People in chat are going, hey, hey, oh, hey. Sorry, Dragonheart. Yeah, he's a very large gorilla. Is the character, and I think Harry might know who it is. But if not, if you guys can't get the link, that is not a problem. Because we link all of your social media in the chat anyway, so it's not a problem. If you guys want to jump on to Tom, if you want to jump onto his Instagram, you're more than welcome to. So this is a bit of a sad one. This is the last question of my list, and I want to ask you, where can we find you? Where can we find you at Tom Cosplay?
As in the world?
If you want, but mostly it's where can we find you online?
Oh, well, in the world, I'm in Sheffield. But I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook as Atom Cosplay.
That is awesome. And there you go. The links are in chat. Thank you to Dragonheart for throwing those links in there. That is absolutely awesome. Casual Props may have found the link. If it is, let me know, guys. Thank you so much, Casual Props. Honestly, this has been such a fun stream, like reminiscing about Sci-Fi Weekender and like hearing cool stories that I haven't actually heard like a few of your stories. It's been absolutely Ranger of Creek cosplay in capitals. I was scrolling for ages, but it's okay. I think Casual Props found it. People are saying, yeah, that's Winston. Awesome. Casual Props said, get good. Honestly, though, genuinely, this has been so much fun. I was so happy you were happy to do it. When I was messaging you on Instagram, I was like, hey, do you want to be a guest on my stream? But you were kind of, I was worried. I was like, oh no, have I just asked him? He's like super uncomfortable about it. I'm not sure. Like, I was worried. Hey, DC Theo Models, Daniel Theophani has just jumped on. Hey, Dan,
Hooray.
you missed it. Honestly, you missed it, but we were bigging you up like crazy just now. We were saying that we need to push you into the spotlight. You need more recognition for the work that you do. You do absolutely fantastic work, and you need more recognition for it, and everyone agrees. So we need to get your link up in chat. So we got it, and we posted it up in chat. So I hope you get more followers, my friend. We need to get more followers for Dan, the man.
Yeah,
the
we love you, dude.
legend that is DCMOs. We love you, man. But genuinely, I was worried on Instagram, like when I was messaging, I was like, "Oh no, I don't want to push him. Like, it's only if you want to." Like the message, "Hey, do you want to be on my cosplay?" And it was like, "But only if you want to. Like, you don't have to."
I'm happy to do it.
And I'm really happy that you packed your car and you came over to your mum's place and threw everything in just so you could get good Wi-Fi. That probably means a lot. Like above and beyond. I absolutely love that. DC Theo Model says, "Wow, thank you." Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Oh, look at that. Casual props. The real followers are the friends you make along the way. The more you know. Da, da, da. Absolutely love it. But he said, oops, damn, kids, gotta go again. Try to be back. It's okay, Dan, don't worry. We're just ending the stream here now, so don't panic. But thank you so much for showing up, Dan. It was really fantastic of you. Honestly, I properly want to say again, thank you so much for coming. And I hope everyone has enjoyed listening to the fantastic Atom Cosplay chat about his amazing cosplay life and how he started. And honestly, I still can't get over the little tractor motor and the thing. It just blows my mind every time. Every time. Absolutely.
I'll take a picture of the inside and put it on Instagram when we're done, so you can see the inside of it.
Absolutely. If I would love that. I don't think I've seen the inside of it. Every time I've met you, I don't think even I've seen the inside of it.
I think I've been wearing it every time, probably, or it's been like behind the table or something.
It's either been under the table, behind the table. You've been wearing it. I've never asked because I feel bad. Like, hey, do you want to get your prop out and show me the gubbins on the inside? It's like,
anytime.
Absolutely. Atom casual props. I still can't believe the pizza thing. I'm still fuming. We all have our flaws. But honestly, once again, thank you so much. And from myself and everyone in chat, we want to say a huge thank you. And hopefully, I'll see you at an event soon. Genuinely, yes. I really hope I'll see you at an event soon. So from me and everyone in chat, thank you so much, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.